FreeSVG.co.uk is a web platform developed to remove the paywall placed upon stock SVG graphics, ensuring users of all types and backgrounds have access to free SVG-based graphics, which they can then customize to their specific needs. The site itself was built using Laravel's framework alongside an SQL database. The database was created using table migrations utilizing foreign key parameters to create table relationships. Routes were created via the web.php file to link the various functions stored within the controllers where appropriate. Laravel's authentication middleware was used to ensure the site was secure. This allows a user to register with the site, verify the registration, and then log in to their account. Users who have not verified are locked out of the main site. The site is fully responsive, working consistently across all major browsers and devices, with appropriate techniques implemented to ensure fast load times. The site is altered based on if the user is a standard user or an administrative user, mainly in regards of the data management aspect to the site. For a standard user, the site is catered to allow for management of images the user has uploaded, and for an admin user, the site is focused towards site-wide data management. The Browse page displays all images which can be downloaded. These images are displayed via the display function using a for each loop. If no images are detected, a message is displayed to the user explaining this. Aspects to the image displays change based on which category the images fall under, such as the color the image's category is displayed with. The display function uses a range of queries in order to refine, sort, and display the image data. The first check handles how the images should be displayed. A value selected from the order by selection list is sent to the function. For example, alphabetical order has a value of B. If this value matches a parameter set using if functions, then a specific query is performed to order the data as intended. Data can be manually entered into the search bar or via the keyword buttons, which when clicked insert their value into the search bar using jQuery. This data is then compared to different information surrounding the images using a select query. If a match or similarities are found with the inputted data, then the image is selected and then displayed. If no data is entered into the search bar, then simply all images which have been approved are displayed. Images can be downloaded from various locations within the site. This process revolves around a download credit system, which was implemented in order to incentivize user contribution to the site. Each credit is worth 1 download, and upon a user registering to the site, they are rewarded with 5 download credits. When a user selects an image they want to download, a function is triggered. This function finds the ID of the current user using Laravel's authentication system. A check is then carried out to check if the current user hasn't got any download credits. If this returns true, an alert is displayed advising the user on how they can earn more credits. If the user does have credits remaining, however, a number of actions are triggered. The credits stored within the SQL database is incremented by 1. The chosen image is then selected using a query via the ID variable posted to the function via the download button. The file for the image is then found and a response is given to download the file at the selected file path. This then in turn downloads the image. The image downloaded counter, also stored within the SQL database, is increased by 1, and the output buffer is then cleared to ensure the function is triggered each time a user wants to download an image. The user can also add an image to a list of their favorites. This is done via a function triggered on selection of an image a user wants to favorite. This function checks if a user has already favorited the image using a select query to find favorites containing a matching image and user ID. And if function then checks if the query has returned data. If the count returned is 0, the image's favorited counter stored within the SQL database is incremented by 1. The image ID of the selected image alongside the current user ID is then saved into the favorites table. If the original selection query returns a count greater than 0, the user is simply redirected. This is done to avoid duplication. A user can view their favorites via the favorites page. This is done using a for each loop, which displays data created via a function. This technique is similar to that used within the browse page to display images. However, in this instance, a table is used. The favorites function displays the user's favorites using a select query which finds images based on the current user ID. Within this page, the user can download images or remove them from their favorites. This for each method, alongside a unique select function, is used to display image data across the site's display panel pages. Users can upload their own SVG graphics using the upload form. Data is validated, ensuring appropriate image information is entered and the image is of file type SVG. If errors occur, they are displayed to the user. This error system is used across all panel forms. If correct data is entered, the store function is triggered. This takes the posted data and applies it to a new image variable. The image is then saved within the site's upload folder, and the image variable is then used to save the new image info into the SQL database. Images uploaded pend approval from the admin. Standard users are given access to a user panel. This provides the user with access to a range of features. Administrative users are given access to an admin panel. From this, admins are given access to slightly different features from those within the user panel. All images the current user has uploaded are displayed within the My Images page using a for each loop and the My Images function. This function uses a selection query to return images with a matching user ID to that of the current user. Users can edit their image data via an edit form. Once a user selects the image they want to edit, its ID is then sent to the edit function. This function then gathers the image data using the image ID. It is then checked if the current user uploaded the selected image. If not, the user is simply redirected. If the user ID is a match, the image data is then sent to the form. The image is validated in the same way as the upload form using the update function. If image data is valid, a select query then gathers the image data using the ID. This data is then updated to the new data and resaved into the database. This edit feature is slightly manipulated within the admin panel. This manipulated feature allows admins to edit any user and image data they want. This is done within the edit function by checking that the user is the admin instead of checking if the image uploader matches the current user. This check is reinforced using an if function on the page itself as well. This manipulated edit function is used within the All Images page and the Approve Images page. However, on the All Users page, this function is also tweaked slightly further by instead changing function to edit user data instead of image data. Within the admin panel, an admin can view all image data via the All Images page. This page uses a for loop and the all images function, which selects all images which have been approved to display the appropriate data. Also, within the admin panel, an admin can view all user data via the all users page. This page uses a for each loop and the all users function, which selects all users using a selection query to display the appropriate data. Users are also able to delete their image data. If a user selects an image to delete, an alert displays asking if they are sure they want to delete it. If the user selects cancel, nothing is done. However, if they select OK, the delete function is triggered. The image is selected using the posted image ID and a select query. It is then verified that the current user uploaded the image. If not, the user is simply redirected. If the user ID matches, however, the image file is then deleted from the uploads folder and the SQL data for the image is also deleted. This feature has further been modified within the admin panel across various features to allow the admin to delete any image or user data. This is done in the same way as the edit feature, changing the verification check to ensure the user is an admin. For both the user and image data, another modification was made which sends an email to the user informing them their image or account has been deleted. This is done using Laravel's mail facade. This modified delete function is used across the all images and Approve Images pages. This feature has also been further modified within the All Users page. The associated function was tweaked to delete user data and not image data. Once images have been uploaded, they are sent to the admin for approval. Admins can view these images within the approved page. These images are displayed using the approved function, which uses a select query to display all unapproved images. If the image is appropriate, it is approved. This is done via an approve button using the approve function. This function first verifies the current user is the admin. If not, the user is redirected. This verification check is also reinforced using an if function within the approved page itself. If the user is the admin, however, the image uploader is rewarded with 5 additional download credits and the image is approved. Upon approval, the image is then displayed within the browse page. Stats surrounding different aspects are displayed for the standard user within the My Stats page. For administrative users, these stats are displayed within the stats page. Each of these pages uses a function to gather useful statistics and displays them through a Google chart and a stats table for analyzation by the user. Standard users can also submit help requests to admins using the help form. The data is sent to the admin using the mail facade and an email blade template. Users can request help with a range of options, including error queries and requesting a change to their account information.